a little-known land of legends, fairy tales, mountains, and castles. And if you visit, you might just be the only foreign tourist around. I'm Eva Zubek, and Lower Silesia is my home. Today, I want to show you around this magical corner of southern Poland. We'll visit picturesque little towns, eat to our heart's content, and learn what it means to own a castle. But first, a quick morning hike on a beautiful autumn day in the Sudety Mountains.
Whew. This was quite the hike, but honestly, the views really make up for it. Right now, we're standing on top of Snik, which is the tallest mountain in this little corner of Poland.
Snik is also home to this watchtower, first built over a century ago. If you climb to the top on a clear day, you can see as far as the Alps. But we have a whole bunch of places to visit much closer, here in the Polish Sudety Mountains.
Okay, I'm pretty sure that is where we're going next.
To kick off our road trip, I want to point you to a couple of charming towns. One look at the architecture, and it's so easy to see that Lower Silesia is a true melting pot of cultures and histories. Our first stop is Lądek-Zdrój, which I personally think is one of the prettiest towns in the region.
Lądek-Zdrój isn't just pretty, it actually happens to be the oldest spa town in all of Poland, and the mineral waters around here are believed to have healing properties, which is why spa-goers have been coming here for about 700 years. The water can be healing as well as destructive. Lądek-Zdrój was actually severely affected by the recent Central European floods, but the locals have been rebuilding fast, and they're ready to bring tourists back into town.
The floods caused a huge amount of damage, but Lądek-Zdrój is a resilient town, and it's still definitely worth a visit. If I were you, I would come here for the thermal spa and the local mountain trails.
There's another spot around here that I'd love to take you to. It's a very special cafe in a tiny little town called Bardo.
Bardo is a tiny town, but it has two major claims to fame. Its 300-year-old basilica and its equally historic liaison with gingerbread. After all, the pilgrims that flocked here needed to eat something, and gingerbread happened to be the cheapest, most filling option that the local bakers could offer. There's one last shop in town that nurtures this tradition, and it happens to look like it sprung out of a fairy tale. This is Magdalena Topolanek, and we are in her famous gingerbread cafe.
Tu przede wszystkim są pierniki, różne rodzaje. Tu mamy pierniczek żytni z syropem buraczanym, polany lukrem miętowym, posypany lawendą, pokrzywą i płatkami róż. Tu mamy pierniczek klasyczny, ten jest ręcznie malowany, ale zapewniam Panią, że mamy jeszcze dużo więcej pierników. Ale niech to pozostanie naszą słodką tajemnicą dla gości, którzy tu przyjadą.
Trzeba zostawić coś na następny raz.
Oczywiście, że tak. Ponieważ kiedyś, jak było tu 7 piernikarzy w miasteczku, to tak naprawdę tajemnicą piernika to nie był przepis, tylko to była mieszanka. W jednej było więcej pieprzu, w innej anyżu, cynamonu i to daje nam aromat piernika.
It is nothing like the gingerbread I've ever had in my life before. It's so moist and so rich and so full of spice and flavor. It honestly tastes like Christmas.
Some of the best travel experiences are bound to be shared with inspiring people. So next up, I headed out into the so-called Golden Mountains to meet up with Meg Szumska, a friend who runs a very special guest house.
Cześć!
Chodźcie, zapraszam do środka.
Welcome! Oh my gosh, it's gorgeous!
Jesteśmy w Złotym Jarze, to jest willa, która w przyszłym roku będzie obchodziła, w 2025 będzie obchodziła stulecie. Znajdujemy się w Górach Złotych, nad Złotym Potokiem, w Złotym Jarze i od geograficznego Złotego Jaru jest też nazwa naszego budynku, w Złotym Stoku na ulicy Złotej.
No dobrze, ale dlaczego wszystko jest tutaj takie złote?
Złoty Stok ma 1000-letnią górniczą tradycję, już 1000 lat temu wydobywano tutaj złoto i dookoła nas w tych wszystkich górach jest ponad 300 km wydrążonych chodników.
Wow! I czy jeszcze dzisiaj można sobie pochodzić i poszukać złota?
Można zwiedzić 3,5 kilometra z przewodnikiem, ale tak naprawdę ponad 300 kilometrów jest ciągle wielką tajemnicą i staramy się odnajdować nowe miejsca, szukamy tam skarbów, szukamy przeróżnych rzeczy, które tam ukryte są pod ziemią.
You know, being here, you almost want to speak in a whisper because you're in this beautiful mountain hut at the end of the road, in the middle of the forest. It feels really magical.
such a long day. I think I'm ready to eat.
Traditional Polish cuisine tends to be heaven for carnivores, but more and more restaurants cater to veggies and vegans. And I have a feeling like this one won't disappoint.
Celery steak.
I know that we've been spending a lot of time in nature, but today we'll do something different. This region actually has one of the highest concentrations of castles in all of Europe, and I want to show you one that honestly looks like it's straight from a fairy tale.
Oh, wow. Hey, Martin.
Hi, Eva.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thank you. What's that?
This is the key to the castle. Let me show you around.
Let's do it. Let's go.
Sarne Castle was first built in the 16th century for a German aristocrat. Afterwards, it changed hands and countries as the borders of Lower Silesia shifted over the centuries. And most recently, it ended up with Martin, who started the back-breaking work of restoring it to its former glory and running a hotel here.
We need a stable financial foundation, and this is why we are running this place as a hotel. And this is actually supporting the nonprofit part of it. We have just finished shooting a YouTube movie about early music in Poland and Italy. We also have the literary festival. This year we had about 20,000 people here in just 1 week during the festival.
So how does it feel to buy a castle?
I was terrified. At first it was strictly business, but now I cannot really imagine my life without this.
There are so many castles all across Lower Silesia. Do you know more or less how many?
It's close to 1,000. I think there's a number of them that are operational, and we're very happy to form our little society of castle owners.
Wow, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's a chapel built in the early 18th century. The painting was finished in 1738.
So these are in fact the original paintings
Yes,
from the 18th century.
yes.
The castle is slowly reclaiming its beauty, and alongside cultural events, you can come here and spend the night at the Swiss House, which is part of the castle complex.
Oh, so cool. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Look at this wallpaper. Feel like royalty tonight. Wow.
And this is the Lower Silesia I love. Everywhere you go, you feel its enduring spirit of culture and history. Truly one of the most magical corners of Poland.